and they were having chicken noodle soup. And we're like, sure, yeah, that'd be great. But that's all it was, is chicken noodle soup.
Have you decided?
Get the swordfish. Best swordfish in the city. The best, Jerry.
I'll have the salmon. And you?
You know what I think? I'm just going to have soup. Yeah, I'll save the meal for another time.
So I said, I was going to cook up burgers over here for lunch. Me and Angie, mind if I bring them over? And it was kind of okay. Like, chicken noodle soup by itself is not a meal.
Another time? What other time?
I had a hot dog earlier. I'm not that hungry.
No, Ben, you're not.
But stew is a meal. But you got to have bread with it. Like, this was standalone chicken noodle soup and Chardonnay.
Chicken noodle soup and Chardonnay?
This is the dinner. The soup counts.
Soup's not a meal. You were supposed to buy me a meal.
I'm not stopping you from eating. Go ahead and eat. Get anything you want.
But I don't want anything but soup.
Then that's the meal.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
So the combination of chicken noodle soup and Chardonnay just kind of has me thinking here a little bit, big guy. Just thought I'd check in because we made it through the football weekend, right? So I'm just curious. Are we still dry Januarying it? Did you make it through the football weekend without any sort of wine or alcohol during the wild card round of football games?
Kinda.
God bless it. What do you mean, kind of?
But with that, hold on. We'll get back to that.
Putting me on ice.
So if soup isn't a meal, is salad a meal? Because my wife eats like a bird now, the older you get. And she's like, how about just a chicken Caesar salad for dinner?
Yeah, we've done that. Or we'll do, like during Lent, Chew. I know a big, during Lent, you got to have just the, salmon Caesar salads, real good, like on a Friday.
Gabe, you're 193 pounds, okay? I'm 270-ish, okay? Is salad a meal? Is that where I'm at in my life? Because I was going to make pork chop, mashed potatoes, little broccoli. Probably not a salad because you got the fiber in the broccoli. Now it's chicken Caesar salad. Do I just have to accept that and roll with it? I know it's good for you.
Chicken Caesars is one of my favorite dinners that happens at my house.
It's super easy to make.
Yeah.
Like easy to make in crunch time.
Can you go to bed hungry?
I mean,
I can go to bed hungry. That's fine.
All right.
A lot of people can't go to bed hungry.
Then what are we discussing here? It seems like problem's been solved because I'll tell you this right now. If your wife I know one thing for sure. The one thing I do know for sure, I'm not sure if soup is a meal. I don't know if salad is a meal. But if your wife tells you that your meal tonight is chicken Caesar salad, guess what you're having tonight, big guy?
Yeah, chicken Caesar. And it's good.
Couldn't you just eat
It's good.
more?
Hold on, Joshy, though. But I think I need a soup with it.
Yeah, soup and salad? Why not? I think you're fine with that.
Okay.
What soup?
What goes good with Caesar salad?
Okay, that's the next question that I don't have an answer for.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go overboard because you're doing chicken Caesar salad, so I don't know if you want like a chicken broth.
No.
So probably some sort of vegetable-based soup?
Yeah, but I don't want a cream because it is cutting season. Even though I can't work out, this flipping elbow, I die. Doctors suck.
But you're our doctor. What are you telling us about you?
Here's the deal. I went on Mayo Clinic, put in all my things, and I diagnosed it. I have a bad case of tennis elbow, which I've had before.
Okay.
And it usually lasts about 2-3 weeks. I'm going on 6 weeks here, and it is not going anywhere, right?
Yeah. So have you done anything about it? Have you taken some ice, iced it, elevated it?
Yeah, I've been icing and stimming. My doctor gave me some what seems to be placebo anti-inflams. Now I'm going to go get a shot of Toradol, which is going to completely piss him off.
What? What, you're just going to get black market Toradol?
Oh, you can get anything down here. It's Florida. Yes. Oh, yeah. You kidding me?
When's the last time you had a Toradol shot?
Well, I kind of had one in my IV in Las Vegas, but that was like bare aspirin Toradol. It was terrible. But I'm going to get the real deal. And then he brought up needling. What is needling? What is needling? Have you had needling? Has anyone ever had needling?
I don't know.
Isn't needling adjacent to acupuncture in a similar way?
I would assume, I've heard of needling.
Does it work? Does it work?
I do not have the qualifications to determine yes or no on that.
But I don't know what it is. I can't tell you if it works or not. That's good.
And here's the thing. You just mentioned placebo. There are certainly things that happen that do end up curing people despite them not actually having, because as we know, the placebo effect is so strong that despite it not actually doing what it's intended, it can cure things.
Like if I can't work out and it's been, I can cardio and stuff like that, but I haven't been able to pump weights in, I think this will be 5 weeks. And I am not pleasant to be around when I can't pump iron. And I still think I play, so I still think I should be afforded the drugs when I play.
Sure, because you need to be able to lift your weights.
So send me Indocin, send me Toradol. Give me something that is going to knock this out. I understand they're looking after my health, okay? But I'm fine with 85. My brain's going to be gone. Quality of life, right?
So your thought process is you don't care what the drugs are going to do long term because you don't care about long term.
I won't know anyways. Yeah. I just want to be able to lift, and not doing it for 5 weeks is just crushing.
I can't imagine. Who do you think is worse to deal with? My dog, who has had a cast on his leg because his leg's been broken for, today is 8 weeks. 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Is that more difficult to deal with? Again, I have to lift my dog. Anytime I take it outside, I'm carrying him downstairs. I'm carrying him up the stairs when we have to go to bed at night. Is that more annoying, or is Chewy more difficult to deal with when he can't lift weights for 5 weeks? I mean, the answer is Chewy, and it's not even close, right?
Yeah, no, the dog is, your dog's nice.
Pleasant
to be around. Does relax.
I know, but who lays down more in the day, the dog or me?
Especially with not lifting. That's a great question. Especially with no lifting weights for you.
I just need something to do to kill time till I can go to bed. That's essentially what it is. So there's that. I'll try this needling thing.
All right,
so he recommended that.
We have somebody, the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy fan base, incredibly strong. You go, hey, what's needling? Joshy and I have no idea, so we have somebody call in on the Carbless Talking text line, 800-990-3776. And Mike and Franklin can give us a needling explanation. Mike, the floor is yours.
Okay, guys, good morning to you. Hey, I'm not a doctor or anything. I'm just going to tell you my experience. My daughter is a dancer. She had that needling done on her ankle. I had it done on my knee, and my wife had it done on her foot because she had plantar fasciitis. All three of us, it helped. A chiropractor can do it. It's like putting needles in. It's somewhat like a pressure point type thing. And I was a little skeptical myself, but I'll tell you what, this stuff really works awesome. It's worth it. It's worth trying.
Really? Okay.
So,
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, there's like I said, a lot of chiropractors. Well, it does not hurt. No, not at all. Not at all.
But it's needles, like said,
though,
right?
Well, yeah. So here's the problem.
They're like little. I would describe them as like stick pins that they put in your knee or wherever your area of problem is, and it does help quite a bit.
All right, we appreciate that call, Mike. But here's the problem. Here's the problem that just occurred to me as we were talking about needling, Chew. You don't do good with needles.
No, that's the problem. Yeah, but I won't look. As long as they're not long needles. I mean, if they're like little tack needles, I think I'd be all right.
God, how do you struggle? You are literally the toughest dude I know. It's a Dude Tuesday. You're the toughest dude I know, and you're scared of needles?
Yeah, a little bit. I should be able to write my own prescriptions. I think it's just what I mean. Why can't? What the hell? You know what I mean?
You think? So okay. I want to follow
I'm not
this
looking
line
to
of
get
thinking.
Vicodin or anything like that. But I mean, you should be able to write. And I know you can't be on anti-inflams forever. I've taken thousands of anti-inflams in my life, and it's like wrestling to get a stupid anti-inflam when I know exactly I need Indocin to knock this thing out. You can't go with bare aspirin. You know what I'm saying?
So I want to follow this line.
I think you can write your own scripts in Canada.
So again, I want to follow this line of thinking. So what, like, it's year 4 or 5, you like become fully vetted in the NFL, right? Then you get part of the pension program. So what, year 6 or 7, you get your own prescription pad, and then when you retire, you can write that this is the way it should be in the NFL.
They tried that with Brett Favre. It didn't work.
Yeah, but I'm not looking for a Schedule A. I mean, it's not like you're going to get addicted to anti-inflams. I understand you cannot take them for more than 3 or 4 weeks straight because it's rough on your liver. I just want this thing gone, and it has gone in the 6 weeks or 5 weeks. It's gone nowhere, and I've iced and I've stemmed, and it's gone nowhere.
Look, Stanley saying needling works. Daughter is a dancer, had it done on her hamstring, made a huge difference.
Okay. I'm going to give it a shot.
But Justin, on the other hand, says dry needling is like acupuncture. It's like a chiropractor. Some people love it. For other people, it is a waste of time and money.
All right. Well,
back to placebo.
Yeah, back to the whole placebo thing. By the way, we did have a couple of people chime in with suggesting a French onion soup, excuse me,
Ooh, that,
to go
you
along.
know what? That's a really good call.
With your chicken Caesar salad tonight.
Caesar salad.
Yeah.
All right, back to dry January. Here's the problem. And I don't understand it because it's healthy, but people bring you down. I had one person out of like 9 saying, hey, way to go, good for you. And the other one's like, that's stupid. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I'm weak.
We know.
So I adjusted it. It's been adjusted. Fine now.
Damn it, like Chewy, I believed in you. I stood up for you.
What's one word? Hold on. What's one word up from dry?
Damp.
Damp.
I'm doing a damp January. That's what we're going to call it.
It's not completely
it's
wet,
an
but
offshoot
it's
of dry.
damp.
It's a damp one.
We're just cutting back a little bit.
No, cutting back 2 days and the amount. So
before
now I probably, all right, let me ask you this.
Okay.
So if I'm doing a damp January, how far into March or how far into February do I have to take it for it to be the equivalent of a dry January?
I think the whole month.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to go damp January and February.
I can do that.
Yeah, and February is only 28 days.
Yeah,
so
you're not giving up anything, so of course it's going to be easy.
Got to be a smart ass all the time. Huh? See, that would be Joshy.
That's his default.
If we hung out more, Joshy would be the one. You're so stupid. What are you doing?
No, so here's actually the thing. I think Joshy would support you if we were all hanging out at a bar and Joshy walked over, didn't know that you were doing it, had a glass of wine for you and sat it down. I mean, first of all, you would drink it because, like you said, you're weak. But if you said, I shouldn't have this, Joshy would take it away. Josh would be like, oh, okay, I respect that you're doing that.
No, because allegedly, I'm not fun when I do dry January. That's what they tell me. You're not fun. And I like to be fun.
Is they one person?
No, there's more than one.
Okay.
But she's the ringleader, I can tell you that.
She has the controlling majority of votes.
Yes. So
I get a similar thing, so I know where you're coming from here.
So the trade-off is all of February.
Yeah. You got to be damp through.
The only problem is I got the Spaniard coming for 5 days.
Yeah, that's. When's the Spaniard coming?
For my birthday.
Okay, so that's in February. Okay, yeah, this is.
Yeah.
You know what? This is not going to work for you, bud. That's just not going to work.
Might as well just try and retool and shoot for April or something.
Let's just shut it down, retool. We'll readdress and reassess after the Spaniard visits in February.
You guys.
I feel, man. See, here's the thing. Like, you get on me when I don't support you. Then the one time I do support you, you do this. You just make me feel foolish.
Throw back right in his face.
Yeah. Have your back. Oh, Chewy's got this. Chewy's got this, no problem. He can do it. He can last all the way until Valentine's Day. You can make it 2 days.
Well, it's not me. It's my friends. I mean, if I was stronger
it's the accountability
and didn't succumb to peer pressure, you know?
Me, it's my friends. I love that. Speaking of friends, our friend Jason Wilde up in Green Bay going to give us the latest from the Green Bay Packers. A lot of things to get to from yesterday, including Jaire Alexander saying something but not really saying anything. Keisean Nixon, Matt LaFleur, all of that we discuss coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Still a difficult situation out there because of the road conditions. Kind of slippery out there with this dusting of snow. Eastbound 94 at Highway 164. We've got an accident off on the right shoulder. Another accident blocking the two right lanes at Blue Mound Road. And that's got backups all the way back to Highway 16. Another accident eastbound 94 at Moreland Road off on the right shoulder. Emergency crews are on the scene helping with that cleanup. And in Kenosha County, we've got a couple of accidents. One on northbound 94 at Highway C. This is just before you get to Highway 50, actually. The car is out of traffic on the left, so kind of in a weird spot. The other one is on Highway 142, actually on 94 at Highway 142. Just about all cleared up. There's just a car left over with that. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Light snow early, sunny, cold, breezy, a high of 17 with a wind chill of 5 above to 15 below. Tonight, mostly clear, cold, low of 5 above, wind chills of 0 to 10 below. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee, packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
The Jen, Gabe, and Chewy podcast is sponsored by Celsius Energy Drink, and I am here to tell you it makes a huge difference in my mornings. With a unique blend of essential energy and key vitamins, Celsius is your partner to an active lifestyle. My favorite, the Peach Vibe. Learn more at Celsius.com and pick up Celsius Energy Drinks today.
Are you heading into the new year with the same old joint pain? Or maybe you experienced a new injury that gives you joint pain that is nagging you. Hey, this is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. There is no better time than the start of the year to refresh, renew, and say no to that joint pain. QC Kinetics is your go-to solution to get moving again in 2025. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine and joint preservation. They are right here in Greenfield and Mequon under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Ashley Caravelli. When I visited the Greenfield location, QC Kinetics exposed me to a whole new world of regenerative medicine. So much in their toolkit to be able to get you your life back. They helped me, and they're going to help you with your own personalized journey to be able to make sure that you are starting 2025 back, active, and living a pain-free life. Call my friends at QC Kinetics for your free consultation. Call QC Kinetics today at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Hi, this is Leanne Womack. I fell in love with country music as a child listening to my dad spin records at a radio station. I always dreamed of hearing my own songs on the radio. I set a goal and achieved it. You can do anything if you set your mind to it. Never let anyone tell you it's impossible. So if you have the chance to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance.
This message brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Is it time to buy an engagement ring?
Or a big anniversary diamond?
Kessler's has diamonds that come from diamond mines.
And we also have diamonds that come from plasma chambers.
When you see the size of the diamond you can afford when you look at our high-tech newborn created diamonds,
you're going to be happy, happy, happy.
And with approved credit, our financing plans make anything possible.
Our selection of engagement rings is beyond compare.
And our custom design department can modify any ring in any way you choose.
Anyone who says they can give you a better ring
or a better diamond
or a better price
has never been to Kessler's.
And our miraculous no small print warranty says,
if you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed.
It's just that simple.
And all maintenance is free forever.
No charge.
Yes, it really is that miraculous.
You found a partner you want to share your life with.
When you're ready to celebrate,
we've got a diamond for that.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field-tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Before we get to Jason Chew, a couple of texts I want to get to on the Carbless Talking text line. AB from Milwaukee saying the needles for dry needling, thinner than a hair.
Yeah.
Chew could look away, not notice.
Okay.
Stanley saying the needles are small, doesn't hurt. Casey saying dry needling helped for the back, does not hurt at all. But I do have one from the private Talking text line where my buddy David says, head needling, it works. They're super long, but very, very thin.
I will deal with that pain to get rid of the pain that I have.
Okay. There we go. We welcome now
I'll
in.
give it a run.
Okay, I just wanted to get those texts
Thank
in
you.
from the Carbless Talking text line. We now welcome in our friend, our teammates. We welcome in Jason Wilde. Dude Tuesday edition of Jason. What's going on, bro?
I don't think dry needling gets rid of the pain that I have on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Friday.
In your ears?
Exactly. No. Great to be with you. Where's the boss today? She's getting ready for the national championship?
Yeah, she had, I don't know if she was going to Columbus or Cleveland, but she was going somewhere in Ohio for the story that she's got for the national championship game, which, of course, is coming up on Monday, which you can listen to right here on 94.5 ESPN. She's got a story about somebody for the Buckeyes.
I don't know how you figure out whether to cheer for Notre Dame or Ohio State.
Well,
not her. Us.
I have a daughter that goes to Ohio State, to which my wife caved and is now sending her to the national championship game. Caved.
Wow.
Caved. So I ran the numbers. Jason is like 4,000. And my daughter's good at negotiating, very good, but it didn't take long to, okay.
Wow.
I'm happy.
I had no idea about that. You're such a mystery to me these days.
Imagine doing a show with him every day.
Myself as well. See, that's a shot, Gabe. That's an unnecessary shot.
What?
That you talk when you're supposed to be my guy.
What? I mean, I was your guy, and then you decided that dry January meant you could have some drinks this weekend.
Jason, instead of doing a dry January, I'm doing a damp January in February.
A moist January. Hey, you live by your own code, brother. You just do what you need to do.
Speaking of living by your own code, Jaire Alexander, Jason, he did not have a long interaction with those who were in the locker room yesterday, but basically saying, hey, I don't have anything good to say, so I'm not going to speak. Don't know if I'm going to be back. That basically puts the nail in the coffin, right? Like, Jaire Alexander is no longer going to be a Green Bay Packer, and at some point this offseason, he is going to be traded or released.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's aware of that. Again, at some point, it would be great. And here was my frustration yesterday. So he comes in, and everyone was around someone else's locker. I can't remember who, but Chewy knows this. Like, the group kind of moves like an amoeba through the locker room, right? Like, somebody's talking, the whole gaggle goes over to that person, and then that's where, sometimes I'm able to do some of my best work, is I leave the mass of reporters and go track someone else down while, like I got Zach Tom that way yesterday. Zach Tom does not like large interviews. He just doesn't like it. So I had a good conversation with him. He admitted he didn't have a very good season, which I thought was interesting. That Peck was really a factor for him. But the group is over somewhere else, and I see Jaire come in. And one of the benefits of doing this for a really long time, and I certainly, wasn't at that point when I was covering Chewy, but, guys that are there every single day, guys that you've known for a long time, from a reporter's standpoint, players are more likely to talk to you, right? Even if they don't want to. And so I said, hey, you got a minute? He's like, okay, sure. And so we're standing by his locker, and maybe I should have played this differently. Maybe I should have, said, hey, can I walk with you or something to get him away, because then a couple of TV stations peel off the big group, they come over, and then he's like, no, I'm not talking. And I'm like, God dang it. Because I don't know about you, but of the mysteries of the season, he is probably the biggest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I really wanted to get real answers. And then, then he says what he did about, I don't have anything good to say, so I'm definitely not talking. And I understand they have work to do too, but I would just say this. There was no way he was ever going to do TV yesterday. He just wasn't. And so then they leave, and he decides to leave, and I'm following him, which is always a demoralizing deal. I said, all right, so do we do this now? He's like, no, forget it. I'm not doing it. And off he went, and I don't think we'll ever see him again. He went out the door, and that'll be his departure. So I don't know until someone else is willing to explain what the organization's frustration with him exactly was. I still think that he just didn't feel like his knee was properly healed, and he doesn't want to play when he's not 100%. And I think other people didn't like that belief. And then he had this surgery to alleviate the swelling. But Matt LaFleur, and I don't crush him for a lot of things. I know a lot of people have gotten after him lately. But him not being able to talk about Bakhtiari previously and then Jaire this year without kind of showing his frustration, I don't think that helps anybody.
Jason, do you think this reaction is from the vibe he feels in the building or through social media?
No, I think it's
because when you're hurt, Jason, and I have my share of injuries, they don't talk to you. They don't talk to you, really. They ignore you, and they think that's going to cause you to come back quicker. So what I'm saying, is it coming from there, or is it coming from social media, you think?
No, I think it's coming from the vibe in the building and how he feels personally. Like, I don't think he wants to be here. And that is what I wanted to get to with him, frankly, is because, let's not lose sight of the fact that after he had that pick six in Tennessee, it was all seashells and balloons and puppy dogs and ice cream, right? Like, he loved Halfley. He loved the strength and conditioning staff. He had a better connection with the medical staff. And he even told our buddy Rob Domofsky that the suspension last year, maybe I really needed that. That was his quote to Rob. So, it felt like all was going to be right with the world this year. And quite frankly, after, what was that, the third game of the season, you're starting to think, okay, this guy's on kind of the Preston Smith plan. In even years, he's going to be an all-pro, right? Like the first three games,
mm-hmm.
Right? And you're like, okay, now he's finally kind of gotten his feet back on the ground with the organization. He hated Joe Barry. And now, remember, and I know he lost money with the suspension, so I'm sure that was part of it. But remember, 2 off seasons ago, he had a $700,000 workout bonus, and he blew it off. He didn't show. And then this year, with the same bonus, he did show. And I personally don't believe it was for the money. I believe that he was in a better place. So better off season, stronger start to the season, and yet we end up in almost the exact – in fact, we ended up in a worse spot than we did a year ago, because remember, he came back for the playoffs and had a pick against the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I think the chapter will close, and it's unfortunate, and I am curious if he'll be able to find a new team that will pay him money, because the guaranteed money will have run out in his deal. I'm curious if he will play somewhere else and regain. The guy's only 28 years old, so he still should have plenty of good football in front of him.
Well, transitioning Jason to his replacement, it seems like he's posturing to get more money. Is that true?
Yeah, so it was interesting because we talked to Keisean Nixon for quite a while, And he early on he dropped, these I want to be the number one corner. I'm going to be ready to lock up other guy, the other team's number one guy. And he's never lacked for confidence. But then toward the end, that was when someone asked him, I think it was Ryan Wing from Fox 11 up here, what did you think, with an entire year now, what did you think of the new kickoff? And he said, I'm not really thinking about that. And that's when he announced that he was going to talk to the coaches to let them know that CB1s don't return kickoffs. It was very much who was it Chucky Carr who said Chucky hacks on 3-0?
Chucky hacks on 2-0, yep. Chucky doesn't take. Chucky hacks on 3.
Yeah. That's kind of how it felt.
Oh, I forgot all about that. Thank you, Jason.
Who remember that baseball story from the Brewers season many years ago? So, yeah, I don't know. Like, again, and I have an awesome relationship with Keisean. I did that story about his mom and going through cancer and all this stuff. And, he trusts me. But when he said that, I was kind of like, ooh. Like, of all the days to make that proclamation,
stupid.
Doing it the day after you fumbled to start the playoff game. And look, I thought that was going to be the most important thing we talked about, was that he believed it was a helmet-to-helmet hit, and that he definitely recovered the ball, and then in the pile, as Chewy knows because he's been in those piles before, he had a couple of different players who each one pulled an arm to get the ball out, and then somebody else snared it. So, I thought that was going to be the most significant thing we got out of him. But nope, he had other plans. So he did play well. I don't know if he played at a, top flight corner level, but he did play well at corner outside, which he had not gotten the chance to do. But yeah, that was unexpected. I would be lying if I said I saw that coming.
Jason, were you part of the media that was in front of Tucker Kraft's locker yesterday?
I was not, but I saw the clip, and Tucker's an interesting cat now, man. Like he's definitely not Chewy with that corner locker that you couldn't get to. Like he talks extensively. He got votes in our Tom Mulhern Stand-Up Guy Award balloting, but I was a little. Were you surprised by? For those that didn't hear it, these comments about how you could feel that this was kind of brewing with the way that they lost to the Eagles, and then we need to wake up. The team needs to wake up.
Yeah. Those two were strong, and he's talking about next year he wants to be a bit, more of a leader, which makes sense. Going into year 3, sure, but yeah, the whole what's brewing for us, and we need to wake up. Like that to me says something was going on that maybe nobody was really aware of behind closed doors.
So the brewing thing, I took that as they were playing like garbage.
Sure.
And that was what was brewing, right?
But then when you pair that with the wake up, like there could be a deeper meaning as well.
There could be, or he could just have been riffing, right? I mean,
sure.
I here's the thing, and I would say this to Tucker's face. So I don't know if you announce that you're going to be more of a leader. I think you do things to take on leadership, and then people follow you, right? Like, look, I know I do this at an annoying level, but I've been having a similar conversation with Sydney, who's 13. She was elected a captain on her volleyball team, and we were talking about leadership because she's great because she got basically the best of Paula, the best of me, and then on top of that, the worst of me, which kind of sucks for her. But she's so good with people and her teammates. And I said, you have to understand, and she does have kind of a, again, I am not the cool dad, but I have a cool job where I get to be around a lot of great athletes and people who understand team dynamics. And I do think that there's some value in that for young athletes like the two that live in my house, right? And so you get to have those conversations with her. And I didn't get to do it last night because she had basketball practice, but I was thinking about the Tucker Kraft quote because I don't think that's how leadership works. And I've never seen guys make that. Chewy, tell me if I'm wrong. Like, you don't tell everyone you're going to be a leader.
Yes. No. We had guys like that, Jason, when I first got there. There was this one D lineman who got hurt, like the first game of the year, who wouldn't shut up. He's a roid boy. And everyone was like, every time he spoke, it's like, geez, I'm crow. Here we go. Come on, Pack. Come on, Pack. That's how he'd say. We'd be like, will you shut up? Yeah, a leadership role has to be anointed to you, not given out by yourself. It's just, he's got to be careful there, Jason.
And look, maybe, believe me, I'm not trashing him. I was taken aback by that quote. But, maybe he does, he's a young guy who played at South Dakota State, who barely played his rookie year the first half of the season, and now has experienced a ton of success. So I get it. At the same time, if you want to take on a greater leadership role, because, look, the way he plays the game lends itself to leadership.
Yeah, because he plays hard.
Absolutely.
Right,
yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm not. All I'm saying is I personally don't think that the proclamation is what we're looking for there. But again, the reason I bring that up is because from a kind of global perspective on what he said, I don't know what to make of it. I don't know if there was real trouble brewing, or who needed a wake up call. Does he think that did he say that not understanding how strong of a statement that is, right? If his wake-up call is, hey,
if he wants to be a leader, he needs to realize how strong of a statement that is.
Right. And if his wake-up call line was, hey, we need to be more dialed in on the details. Well, that's not really what we mean when we talk about wake-up calls. You need to get your blank together as the wake-up call. We're not focused, or there's infighting, or the guys don't care enough, all those types of things. And so I'm always leery of making too much of a quote if I don't have more context. And again, I was talking to somebody else at that point, so I was not there. But it definitely popped off the page. There's no doubt about it to me.
Jason,
which franchise you think is feeling their oats a little more today? A team that lost last night badly but far exceeded expectations, or a team that beat no one all year long and had an early exit to the playoffs? But there were rumblings of a potential Super Bowl berth this year. Which building you think feels worse?
Yeah, that's a good question, because can you tell me what teams you're referring to first?
The Vikings and the Pack.
Yeah, I know. I was just being funny. I think the Vikings situation is fascinating because, I don't know how your last impression of Sam Darnold playing the way he did, how you ignore that and then say, no, he's the guy. I can't wait to see what they do. I'm super, super interested because he didn't play well in the Lions game either, right? He finished.
No, he didn't.
And it kind of undid all this kind of Cinderella story of this guy revitalizing his career. So I'll say this. The Packers aren't in denial. I thought for all the, we were so close in all these other games against good teams. I talked to 5 or 6 guys yesterday, and it was Javon Bullard, a rookie 22-year-old, that put it best. He was like, look, we want to believe we're a good team. We didn't beat any of the good teams. You can't keep saying that if you don't beat an elite team. I think we're a good team. Our record says we're a good team, but we didn't beat any of the good teams. And I thought, here's a dude that played on back-to-back national championship teams at Georgia. I thought it was great to hear a young guy. Now, that's leadership, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? That's leadership. That's saying, hey, we thought we were better than we were. We didn't do it when the chips were on the table. We got to be better in those situations. That showed me something about him.
Jason, and real quick, because I want to be the first one that says it. First one. Will the Vikings kick the tires on Aaron Rodgers?
Oh. We'll discuss that on Thursday when I rejoin.
I wanted to be the first.
Man, Chewy, this is the second day in a row Chewy's doing it. Now, this is an extended tease all the way to Thursday, but Chewy's putting together some pretty big teases over the first 2 days of this week, Jason. We certainly appreciate it, but before we let you go, on the Carbless Talking text line, Adam says, dudes hanging out, laughing at the word moist. Must be a Dude Tuesday. Thank you, Jason.
His diagnosis of this show, right on point. All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde joins us 3 times a week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. The Tucker Kraft sound. I want you to hear that, Chewy. I want you to hear and what you hear from Tucker Kraft, the Packers tight end, who had some pretty strong things to say yesterday as the Packers were cleaning out their locker rooms. But I do want to let people know. Find out what all the screaming is about. It is National Pizza Week, and our friends at Palermo's, they know how to celebrate. With BOGO on Screamin' Sicilian at Pick and Save and Metro Market, Screamin' Sicilian, thin and crispy pizzas. Buy one, get one through January 14th. You got to go. You got to get them today. It's a great time to stock your freezers with all your favorite Screamin' Sicilian flavors, or maybe you stock up at Piggly Wiggly. That is going to be happening later as well. All your Screamin' Sicilian favorites are on sale for just $6.99. And like when we talk about Palermo's, we talk about all the different brands. But within Screamin' Sicilian stuffed crust, Detroit style, Screamin' Sicilian tavern style, or just the regular Screamin' Sicilian, all on sale at Piggly Wiggly for $6.99 through January 21st. Always celebrates whatever the occasion is with Palermo's, but especially when it's National Pizza Week and National Pizza Month. Palermo's flavor is our family's business.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound on 94, just before Highway 50 in Kenosha County, we've got an accident on the left shoulder. We've also got a new one. This one's on southbound 94, off on the left shoulder, just south of Highway E, so watch out for that. We got eastbound 94 in Waukesha County. We've got an accident there at Highway 164. That's already in the backups from an earlier accident that happened around Blue Mound Road. That Blue Mound Road accident that had 2 right lanes blocked has finally been cleared out of the way. Delays are still sticking around. We still have this other one on eastbound 94 at Moreland Road. Tow truck's on the scene, so hopefully it should be out of there pretty soon. And then crash on the ramp from Burleigh to 41 southbound, also causing some issues there. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, light snow early, sunny, cold, breezy, a high of 17, wind chill of 5 above to 15 below. Tonight, mostly clear, cold, a low of 5 above, wind chills of 0 to 10 below. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Whether you are a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit our great city of Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Hey, maybe you got friends coming in from out of town. St. Kate the Arts Hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee with deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, and nightly live music. You and your friends will enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com. That's stkatearts.com.
Kevin Moret for Mentality. Most new clients in Mentality are stuck at just 1/3 the free testosterone they need, and that's a losing battle. Without enough free testosterone, nothing works. Your energy's gone, muscles weaken, and fat piles on. But it doesn't have to stay that way. Mentality's doctors bring your hormones back into balance so your body starts working again. More energy, stronger muscles, better results. This year, stop settling for a fraction of your potential. Start strong with our New Year offer at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold Carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust. Get your Golden Eagles essentials by opening Marquette checking from Wintrust today.
The 7th-ranked Golden Eagles rallied from a 14-point first-half deficit to down Georgetown 74-66 at Fiserv Forum. Junior guard Chase Ross led the way with a career-high 27 points to go along with 6 steals and 15 deflections in the victory, as MU notched 16 total steals on the night.
Here's a steal by Chase Ross. Will he launch? Yes!
Yes, he will.
Oh, baby! He brought the hammer so good that Tony Smith loved it.
Stevie Mitchell chipped in 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals of his own. David Joplin added 12 points and 7 rebounds. Marquette improves to 14-2 overall and 5-0 in Big East play. They get a chance to rest up before visiting DePaul on Tuesday.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, and the official bank of Marquette University.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. Universal Windows Direct is offering an amazing deal right now. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. That's right. For every 2 windows you buy, you'll get 2 more absolutely free with no limit and 36 months of no interest financing. Plus, if you've already received a quote from another company, bring it to Universal Windows Direct and they'll beat it. Schedule your free in-home estimate today or visit universalwindowsdirect.com, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Where else can you get football analysis that includes things like dropsies and pixies and interceptsies and flowy? It's flowy. The offense needs to be more flowy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
It started with a whisper.
Carbos Talking text line is 800-990-3776. If you missed it last week, Chewy talked about doing a dry January. We thought, or I shouldn't lump everybody else here. I thought Chewy could definitely make it till Valentine's Day. I was wrong. He is now having a damp January. So this text on the Carbos Talking text line, nationally accomplished researcher made the suggestion instead of dry January chew to shoot for 1 dry week per month. Maybe healthier in the end and easier than an entire month. That's from Mike in Hattiesburg.
All right, I've done that.
Yeah, so once a week, because that, once a week, or
Every
once a month, then you get 12 weeks instead of just doing the 4 weeks of a typical month.
I kind of like damp January, February.
Yeah. Kind of feels like you're stuck on that one.
Yeah.
I'm not moving.
No, doesn't really feel like it. Tucker Kraft, we just talked about this with Jason Wilde. He had some interesting things to say. Second-year player, going to be a third-year player next year. And he had some interesting things to say about leadership, had interesting things to say about the Packers. And he started by saying that the loss to the Eagles felt like it was brewing.
Well, we certainly didn't win anything. The whole last few games that we played, it just, you could kind of feel what was brewing for us. We just didn't finish. I wouldn't necessarily say that the season was a failure. We learned a lot about some of the individuals on our team and how these players can impact the future of this building.
What do you hear as a former player when you hear another player talk like that, Chew?
What do I say? And I've been saying it for years now, Gabe. What do I say about young players as it gets late in the season?
They're not young players anymore?
They what?
They hit a wall.
There you go. They hit a wall. Sounds to me like they hit a wall. Sounds to me like a young team like pouting and the season's so long and this, and they just don't understand the difference between getting ready for the playoffs. And they certainly played like it, right? I mean, certainly in the Bears game, they were just flat as flat can be. And you know what? I would even include the coaches in there because they did not coach their best the last 3 games of the year. And that's what, you know what? You want to have the medal of having the youngest team in the NFL? Well, can sometimes expect this because they do hit a wall. And it sounds to me like they hit a wall and then couldn't dig themselves out of it. There's no switch. I've told you, there's no switch. There's no switch. Can't play crappy at the end of the year and go, flip a switch, oh, we're going to be great. Doesn't work.
Well, that was not all that he had to say, because we talked about this with Jason. The words "wake up" were said by Tucker Kraft as well as he addressed the media yesterday.
Yeah, as a team, we need to wake up. I mean, how many times do we have to just, not everyone talks about how we're just not okay with just making the playoffs, but we have yet to, walk the walk.
No, they haven't done anything. You know what? My question would be, and I'll pose it to you guys. Does he want to be the youngest team because he feels they're younger, more athletic, their body isn't beat up as much, or is he cheap?
I think he wants to be – I don't think he wants to be the youngest team. At least I hope he doesn't want to be the youngest team every year, because this is what happens. But also, because of what happened last year, this team is in a rebuild. I think we all lost sight of that they're still building this team up. They kind of tore it down. They got rid of a lot of the veterans, whether that was Rodgers, whether it was Devontae the year before, Mercedes Lewis. They got rid of a lot of it, and they tore it down when Jordan Love – they didn't want to use the term. They didn't want to use the word.
There was no mention of rebuild at the beginning of the season.
No,
they
not this
thought
year.
they've arrived.
No. Yes, I understand you. But, at the beginning of last season, they didn't want to say rebuild last year either. But guess what 2023 was? It was a rebuilding year.
Oh, that was a rebuild. But, yes, I agree with you, but there was no mention of a rebuild going into this year.
No.
Based upon what they did last year in the
playoffs. Correct.
They were feeling their oats.
Correct.
And they didn't have any oats.
But the fact of the matter is, it takes more than a year to build the thing up. Right?
Yeah.
So I think they were the youngest team last year. They, had a lot of young players, and a lot of those draft players impacted this year as well, so they become the youngest team again. I think Goody wants to skew young. I don't think he wants to be the youngest.
But you know why it's a rebuild, and they might not wanted to admit it, that it was a rebuild, but you know why it's a rebuild? Because Goody screwed up. He screwed up with 9 first-round draft picks on defense, and none of them have panned out. None of them. We're going to sit here, Rashawn Gary made the Pro Bowl. Rashawn Gary made the Pro Bowl last year. We're good there. Come on. Kenny Clark? I can't wait to do these grades. Eric Stokes? Mm-hmm. Quay Walker played better towards the end of the year, but at the end of the day, Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt, they're guys. They're not superstars. You said it yourself, Gabe. In order to be a Super Bowl team, you need superstars.
Mm-hmm. They don't exist. They don't exist right now.
That's why they don't want to say rebuild. Because if you say rebuild, well, you had 9 first-round picks on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and there's probably going to be another one.
You shouldn't have to rebuild.
There's going to be another one.
You shouldn't have to rebuild.
That's
why they don't want to say rebuild.
That's also not the proper context, because we have to historically remember Aaron Rodgers and being the oldest team in the league and all the aging players that had there, and to keep some of those guys and to try and add to that team, they were borrowing from the future to field a team in the present. So there was rebuild from that sense. They had to get younger. They had to build a core. What they're doing right now is trying to build a young core. I do think Goody has no interest in paying guys in the back end of their career. The Kenny Clark move, to me, was out of character for him.
I'm really curious of how many third contracts he gives out again.
Yeah.
Because he's done it now with Bakhtiari. It's bit him in the ass. And now, based on this year, the Kenny Clark one's certainly biting him in the ass.
It seemed like Kenny Clark was basically done in Green Bay prior to him then getting re-signed for 3 years. So, it's not that he hasn't made mistakes, but they're trying to build a young core of players they're going to keep around for a while, and they're going to build and then take a full run at it. I don't think this was an empty the bucket type of season. We're going for it. Mm-hmm. They're trying to get younger. They wanted to figure out that wide receiver room. They wanted to give guys an opportunity to flourish. Some of them failed. Some of them stepped up in a big way. There was a rebuild in a sense. The reason we don't want to call it a rebuild is because they were successful and then they were a letdown in the following year, and our expectations were sky high.
But again, when I take a step back, it's going to take more than 2 seasons to go from where they were in the offseason of 2023 to get to where they want to go.
Hold on. How many first-round picks were there on the defensive side of the ball in the last, say, 6 years? How many?
Oh, I mean, like all of them, Chew.
Five,
like, yeah.
except for
I know,
Jordan
but
Morgan.
how many would you expect to hit on to at least be real Pro Bowl players? How many would you expect to hit on if, say, they were 9?
2? Or if there were 9?
Yes.
Well, but see, I mean,
3?
If you lump Kenny Clark in there, like in defense of Kenny Clark, who was a first-round pick and has been a legitimate Pro Bowl player for this team, like
probably the best one.
The criticism of Kenny Clark is you gave him the third contract, and this is what happened this year. But like Kenny Clark, like beyond the shadow of a doubt, was a hit as a first-round pick for the Green Bay Packers.
But I agree with what you're saying, Joshy. They had to get younger. But on the flip side, come on.
Well, so what I'm curious to say,
you had so many first-round picks on defense that were crap.
Oh yeah, and Chewy, that's just going to continue this year. I fully expect that first pick at number 20, which is 23, by the way, because of the Vikings lost last night. So thank you to the Minnesota Vikings for giving the Packers a better draft pick.
Thanks, Sam Darnold.
At 23, I fully expect that to be a corner or a pass rusher. Fully expect it. Like they're just going to do another one.
And like Jaire was an absolute hit. We can't argue that. He was an all-pro level, like one of the best in all of the league at that position. So like there are hits there you're gonna miss. It's been a streak here of Rashawn Gary is not as good as you want him to be. He's not also as bad as sometimes it sounds like we're talking about him as, but he's not productive enough.
The problem with Rashawn is he's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
He's a solid B. Maybe a B minus. He's getting paid to be an A.
Solid Bs don't get paid $25 million.
Correct. He's getting he's getting paid to be an A.
You have to match the money with a performance on the field.
And when you get paid that kind of money, the reason why Jordan Love gets that contract or Rashawn Gary gets that contract is because they make the players around them better because they're that good.
Yeah.
And you can afford to pay that money to that player and then be younger or cheaper at other places because, well, you're going to have better opportunities because Rashawn Gary is next to you.
Also, in the last offseason, the Packers added at least 2 A players on defense. Xavier McKinney being one of them.
Yes.
And Edgerrin Cooper certainly looks like it, with Evan Williams and Javon Bullard an opportunity to upgrade themselves. They're at very worst probably a B with what we've seen from them already. So like those are 4 players that are instantly better than anything I can remember.
What I'm really curious, and there was an article today in the Journal Sentinel kind of going through some of the Packers offseason stuff. Like, because of the way it was worded, like, I think it's going to get some people excited. Heck, it got me excited. But there's no way Goody does it. Because there's a couple people that I would say would be maybe some of Goody's biggest mistakes that are going to be available this offseason are Rasul Douglas, who is going to be a free agent, and Devontae Adams, who is probably going to be available via trade or might just get straight up cut by the Jets. How interested would you be in either one of those guys?
No.
Devontae.
No. As what? A third receiver?
Oh, Devontae is their number one, and it's not even close.
How old is he?
31.
What are you going to pay him?
You're not. If he gets released, Chew, you're not going to have to pay him much.
If the money matches, yes. If the money matches,
but here's the thing: like
$28 million a year.
Devontae is still one of the best receivers in the league. He still is. Like, he had a game with 198 yards receiving this year. Like, he still gets open. Like, his quarterback play around him this year was crap, and he still had almost 1,100 yards, which is light years ahead of any Packers receiver.
You called Aaron Rodgers crap?
He was bad this year. I don't know if you decided to watch any Jets games. I, for whatever reason, decided to, and woof.
You heard it here, though. You heard it here.
What?
He's going to go to Minnesota.
I honestly hope he does, because then I don't have to worry about them.
Do you believe him?
Oh, I wouldn't worry about wherever Aaron Rodgers goes. Like, I don't think you have to worry about him anymore.
Because not only has his play declined, the cult of personality that is Aaron Rodgers brings stuff into a building you don't want. And I think that has now shown for the past 2 teams he played for.
What were they saying about Brett? They were saying the same thing about Brett.
But here's the thing. When Brett went to Minnesota, he still had value.
Yeah.
Like Brett played well with the Jets and then had the bicep injury that like derailed the back part. Like, but he had them ready to make the playoffs his first year there until he played through the injury like he always does. And then he goes to Minnesota, has the best year statistically of his career. I will eat whatever you put in front of me if Aaron Rodgers goes to Minnesota and then has the best statistical year of his season, or of his career.
Good. This could be a fun year.
He's not going to Minnesota, and he's not going to have the best statistical year of his career.
Then where's he going?
I don't know. Where does he go? Peru? Is that where he goes for his ayahuasca journey?
Him and Big Mike, baby. Saints.
Yeah, it's. I honestly don't know. That's not some. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit on this show, Chew. But the veteran quarterback market of him, Kirk Cousins, and Russell Wilson, it's not good for anybody. Like, that's...
Which one of those...
Fate. You are tempting fate.
Which one of those goes to a team that Chewy gloms onto as the don't sleep on team? Because he was both on the Jets and the Falcons.
Yeah.
Which quarterback there?
I don't remember the Jets. And I was close with the Falcons. Because if they made the playoffs, then...
You
yes.
predicted...
Yeah, but you were...
Go to break. Can we just go to break? We're so far behind right now.
Oh, now he cares about the clock. More in 2 minutes. Jen, give it to you.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Difficult conditions continue on northbound Brewers Boulevard. The ramp to get onto westbound 94 is closed because of a crash there. And then on eastbound 94 at 35th Street, we've got the right shoulder blocked with a crash as well. Another crash on the ramp from Burleigh to southbound 41. That is affecting your ride. We got backups coming in from Good Hope Road all the way to that point. A broken down vehicle on northbound 4394 around Howard Avenue, off on the left shoulder, just enough to create a big backup all the way back into the Mitchell interchange. And then all along 94, all through Kenosha County from Highway 50 on up. We've got multiple accidents through there. One northbound on 94 at Highway E has the 2 left lanes closed. That's going to really affect your ride. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, light snow early, sunny, cold, and breezy. A high of 17 with a wind chill of 5 above to 15 below. Tonight, mostly clear and cold, a low of 5 above with a wind chill of 0 to 10 below. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazagon, 94.5 ESPN.
James Imaging Systems. Local support, local accountability, local business technology representatives. Listen to Matheson Manufacturing President Al Leidinger.
She still checks in to see how things are going and if we need anything. So I really do appreciate that from a customer service standpoint.
Michael Quizan, IT Systems Administrator at Great Midwest Bank, discovered the benefits of working with the local team at James.
Our cost from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
James Imaging Systems client Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra, on dealing with James.
They are making sure you get the full value and life of every product that you have with them.
Local support, local accountability, local people. Get it all with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. 7474.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, the certainty of protection and income are the keys to success. And as a former NFL player myself, I have experience with both. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game films helped me mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. Now I star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception to help you visualize and prepare for your fourth quarter of life. You see, you don't retire on your nest egg, but rather the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. And it's free for you to view. Call 855-620-1801 right now for your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Don't risk your retirement savings at the goal line. You don't need to be risky to have a winning strategy. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Call today. 855-620-1801. That's 855-620-1801. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucs fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at Bucs.com/tickets. That's Bucs.com/tickets.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
So our friends, good friends, live right down the road from us, invited us over for dinner, and they were having chicken noodle soup. And we're like, sure, yeah, that'd be great. But that's all it was, is chicken noodle soup.
Have you decided?
Get the swordfish. Best swordfish in the city. The best, Jerry.
I'll have the salmon. And you?
You know what I think? I'm just going to have soup. Yeah, I'll save the meal for another time.
So I said, I was going to cook up burgers over here for lunch. Me and Angie, mind if I bring them over? And it was kind of a, okay. Like, chicken noodle soup by itself is not a meal.
Another time? What other time?
I had a hot dog earlier. I'm not that hungry.
No, Ben, you're not.
But stew is a meal. But you got to have bread with it. Like, this was standalone chicken noodle soup and Chardonnay.
Chicken noodle soup and Chardonnay?
This is the dinner. The soup counts.
Soup's not a meal. You were supposed to buy me a meal.
I'm not stopping you from eating. Go ahead and eat. Get anything you want.
But I don't want anything but soup.
Then that's the meal.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
We have some suggestions on the Carbless Talk and Text line, listeners more, about where Aaron Rodgers could go next year, because Chewy asked earlier today to Jason, what about Rodgers to Minnesota? And, there's some suggestions. Erica put together this list. Tennessee, Las Vegas, San Francisco, Cleveland, New Orleans, Jets, Minnesota, and Pittsburgh. Some of those teams are just eliminated based on, Tennessee's not going to be very good. They've got the number 1 overall pick. They're probably taking it. They're going to take a quarterback, presumably. But even Cleveland, who has the 2 pick, or Las Vegas, who is outside of that. Rodgers not going to go to those places because if he's going to continue to playing, he wants to play for a team that can make the playoffs. And I think that none of those teams would be interested in bringing in a veteran quarterback who, like Russell, like Aaron Rodgers, has killed culture in places he's been.
Best case scenario, he takes you out of the top 10 draft picks.
Yeah. So a place like San Francisco, I think, would make sense, depending upon what they do with Brock Purdy. Minnesota, Pittsburgh, depending upon what they do with Russell Wilson. Places like that would make sense for Aaron Rodgers, to me. Now, maybe I'm wrong and he just wants to keep playing, but that's not the vibe I get from him. The vibe I get is if he keeps playing, he wants to be in a competitive place. And we do have a caller on the Carbless Talk and Text line, 800-990-3776. Beads from Parts Unknown. You're on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Morning, guys. From Rodgers' idea, I was thinking Pittsburgh potentially because of the romance of Tomlin. San Francisco, like you said, because of Purdy and the supposed tampering that happened in the past. Minnesota, I know that seems lazy with the Favre-esque path, but I don't see it all the question. Another random one I had was Philadelphia, depending on how much turmoil is going on internally. I know they're going on, but I'm just looking at, like you said, you got to have a good defense. You're not going to have a better offensive line than Philly. I am also curious, Chewy, if you were selected, asked to go to the NFL draft and make a pick, would you go?
It's in Green Bay? Yeah. I wouldn't have to get on a plane. Yeah. That's about as far as I'd go, though.
Because I'd love to see you up there. And then last thing I just want to ask, and then I'll shut up and hang up. With all these Bears interviews, and now all these people, the NFC North being identified, latest, I believe, being Stenavich, is this, I mean, I know it's true, but at the same time, is it more to get insight? How much insight do you get when you bring somebody in?
I certainly appreciate the call, Beads. The Bears are just covering all their bases. They're basically talking to anybody with a pulse. Like, if their plan is for Kevin Warren and... Okay, I've been screwing this up. Is it Poles or Pace who's the GM right now? Poles is the one.
Poles.
Yes. Because they're both Ryan, and Pace is the former one, Poles is the current one. If they're sitting Stenavich down and going, hey, and trying to like extract information that they can't already get off of film, like I don't know what you're doing in your process. That would be a sign of continued dysfunction for the Chicago Bears, and I hope that's what they're doing.
Steno was mentioned as a name. Obviously, Glenn and Ben Johnson are getting interviews because they're a monumentous success they've had.
Yes.
And, I mean, Packers' relative success, like, you can call it what it is. It's still an 11-win team. The Bears would kill for an 11-win team. So trying to take pieces from the Packers or even the Lions makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he hasn't called plays, and that was the whole thing with Bieniemy. Mm-hmm. You know what? Nagy, when he was with Kansas City, when he got the Chicago job, called plays in Kansas City, and Doug Peterson, when he was under Andy Reid, there called plays. Bieniemy never called plays, and that's what hurt him in becoming a head coach. And it's the same with Stenavich.
Well, so with Steno,
if you're going to hire an offensive coach, he's got to have some game calling experience. Yeah. And I don't mean the preseason. Hey, call this game. That means nothing.
Which is why I think if the Packers are going to lose Steno. And I mean, LaFleur could easily block this, but if there's a team that comes calling Chew that wants Steno to be their OC and then call the plays,
what
does LaFleur do? Does LaFleur just block that and go, no, continue to grow in your career?
Yeah,
that's the tough decision they have to.
Stenavich. That's what happened with Alex Van Pelt with Mike McCarthy. That's why that. And let me tell you what, Mike McCarthy coached, because I played against Alex at BC. We'd play Pitt every year. Mike McCarthy coached Alex in college. They were buds.
Yeah.
I crashed Alex's wedding, and I believe McCarthy was there. So they were buddies, and that's all it took is for McCarthy to block Alex, and that was the end of that relationship. So
quickly before...
I don't know. Hold on. Would you ever do that?
What?
Block someone who could advance in their career? Isn't that kind of bush league?
Can't you not block if they're taking a better job?
No, so technically the way the NFL looks at it,
lateral move.
The Packers can't say no to Steno interviewing for the head coaching job. They cannot block that because it's a step up. But if somebody comes to the Packers and go, hey, we'd love to hire Steno to be our OC to call plays, even though he would be calling plays and having more responsibilities, it's a lateral move, and the Packers could block that. So the only thing you can't is, the upward trajectory. Like if I believe... Actually, so I don't know. I get confused on this because it used to be offensive position was an offensive position back when with like Alex Van Pelt, because Van Pelt was just the QB coach and somebody wanted him for the OC, and McCarthy blocked that because an assistant was an assistant.
Yeah,
I do not believe that's the case anymore.
Gabe, they put the tag of associate head coach
to try to protect someone.
That's why they do that. But I just see that as bush league.
I would not personally do it.
Josh.
No, I can't imagine Matt LaFleur would do that.
Really?
But that's a decision that LaFleur is going to have to make. If somebody comes knocking and goes, hey, we would love to hire Steno and we want him to call plays.
Yeah, how good is it for you to have an unwilling participant in your team?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make a ton of sense.
Well, again, the way I would handle it, if a team reaches out and however the process works and that comes to me, hey, this team wants to talk to Steno about the OC, he would call plays. I would go to Steno, hey, do you want this job?
Yeah.
If this is what you would want to do to take that next step, then yeah, I'm not going to block you. I'm going to leave that up to you. If you want to stay here, stay here. If you want to pursue that, I understand.
Yeah. Seems to make a ton of sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
Speaking of things that don't make a ton of sense, power rankings. We've got Chewy's power rankings.
Jeez, I'm a crow.
What?
We're breaking up.
Well, you stabbed me in the back.
That's because of last week. You were rotten to me. I mean, Josh is
Last
always
week?
rotten to me.
What did I do
you
last
were supposed
week?
to be
I
my
had
ally.
your back last week.
No, you lipped off. You were very lippy.
Like I'm your kid.
Yes.
All right, well, we'll see if Chewy and I can repair our relationship. Coming up next with Power Rankings. But, guys, I do want to tell you, the one thing Chewy and I will always agree on, the Jewelry Center. If you are looking to take that next step in life and propose, the Jewelry Center has to be the first stop. And let's be honest, it would be the last stop as well. Whether it's naturally mined diamonds, lab-grown diamonds, the Jewelry Center has options for it all. And if you don't know exactly what you're looking for, go to that Pinterest page of that special someone, bring it to the Jewelry Center, and they will make those dreams become a reality. Learn more about the engagement ring selection or any other services that they offer. Shop TJC.com or stop in today at the Jewelry Center, Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington. And anytime you go to the Jewelry Center, you make sure you tell them that Gabe and Chew sent you.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Difficult conditions continue on northbound Brewers Boulevard. The ramp to get onto westbound 94 is closed because of a crash there. And then on eastbound 94 at 35th Street, we've got the right shoulder blocked with a crash as well. Another crash on the ramp from Burleigh to southbound 41. That is affecting your ride. We've got backups coming in from Good Hope Road all the way to that point. A broken down vehicle on northbound 4394 around Howard Avenue off on the left shoulder, just enough to create a big backup all the way back into the Mitchell interchange. And then all along 94, all through Kenosha County from Highway 50 on up, we've got multiple accidents through there. One northbound on 94 at Highway E has the 2 left lanes closed. That's going to really affect your ride. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, light snow early, sunny, cold, and breezy. A high of 17 with a wind chill of 5 above to 15 below. Tonight, mostly clear and cold, a low of 5 above with a wind chill of 0 to 10 below. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazagon, 94.5 ESPN.
Confidence and strength begin with how you feel. At Quintessa Aesthetic Center, it is not about just looking good. It's about results that last and empower you. With 5 convenient locations in Delafield, Mequon, Brookfield, Middleton, and Sheboygan, their team of world-class plastic surgeons, skilled clinicians, and expert estheticians are here to help you take control. Whether it's advanced skincare, anti-aging treatments, body contouring, or muscle strengthening, Quintessa has everything you need to sharpen your image and boost your confidence. Take the first step towards a stronger, more confident you. Visit myquintessa.com today.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Kevin Moret for Mentality. Guys, carrying extra weight around your midsection doesn't just make you feel bad, it changes how people see you. It makes you look tired, stuck, and feel like you've given up. But it's not you. Low testosterone is often the real problem. Most new Mentality clients start with only 1/3 of the free testosterone they need, which makes fat almost impossible to lose. Our doctors fix the imbalance and use semaglutide to burn the belly fat while keeping you lean and strong. Take back control this year. Visit mentalityhealth.com/radio for our new year offer. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you could win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, Hims can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I mean, pumpkin seeds.
No, little suckers. They might be. What did you say before, Jen?
Sesame but those
seeds.
are white. Like
No,
white.
these aren't white. No, this isn't on the outside. This is on the inside.
Seeds on the inside.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you got some sort of like
scrotum.
On 94.5 ESPN.
But I'm thinking it's time for a change. Get out of your lane.
a little bit different how we're doing power rankings. Still going to power rank all of those playoff teams, all 14. I think Chewy remembered all 14 this week, right? You got 14 on the list?
Yep. Got it.
Let's go ahead and get to it. Time to power rank.
Favorite segment of the week.
Hey, big guy, you catch the game?
It's Power Rankings time on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Did you catch the game last night?
Can I say yes to you?
What will the big guy have in store for us today?
See the game last night?
Which game?
Any of them.
All right, we're going to re-rack it based on last week. Reseed them, re-rack, whatever you want to call it. Okay? With that being said, give me number 14, boys.
I'm still going to say it's the team you forgot about last week. They scored the fewest amount of points. I'm saying the Denver Broncos.
That was my initial thought, but the Steelers barely showed up. Seemed disinterested, but I'm going to stick with last week. It's the Broncos.
It is the Broncos, Josh. I did think about it a little bit.
They seemed like they weren't all that
Broncos-
interested in winning.
No. Broncos took a step. No one thought they would make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So overall, I thought it was a pretty good year for them. Looks like Sean Payton. And it looks like Bo Nix is going to turn out to be a decent quarterback. So they are 14. 13.
All right, well, if you thought about it, I guess that means there's only one team that can go here.
Steelers.
And it's the Steelers.
Steelers are correct. They kind of folded at the end of the year. Went a little Tucker Kraft.
5 in a row.
They move on from those two, right?
Maybe they decide to bring back Fields because they had some success with him at the beginning of the season before going to Russell Wilson, and I don't know what their other options are going to be, Chew. But for sure, they're moving on from Russell Wilson. Like that could have honestly, that could have been the last game of Russell Wilson's career.
Will they make a play for Rodgers, Cousins, or the other feller who you brought up? That's slipping my mind.
Russell Wilson, who's their current guy.
Oh.
So I think they're going to move off of Russell. Maybe they make a play for Aaron.
They should try and draft one. That's what they should do.
But the problem with this draft class stinks.
That's way down the
the problem for the Steelers is they're in NFL purgatory. Their coach is too good for them to bottom out and actually draft a good quarterback.
And keep firing until it works.
But they had a good year. No one thought they were going to.
Yeah, I mean, that was a team that a lot of people thought, they made the playoffs last year.
They overachieved.
This is going to be the year that Tomlin finally finishes below 500 and they won double-digit games.
12.
Chargers.
Tampa Bay Bucks.
Whoa! I based the Chargers there strictly on the way he was talking about
Justin
the
Herbert
Chargers
hater.
and Justin Herbert earlier in the show.
I thought the Chargers, they're better than the Bucks. Herbert just stinks in the playoffs. And first year Harbaugh, they'll get better. It's like you said, it's a progression for them. 11.
So this is the Chargers.
This has got to be the Chargers.
Correct. Chargers there. 10.
I will say this is where the Packers reside.
So part of me, he mentioned earlier that some teams can win, but they're still worse than others.
So
part
Texans?
of me thinks Rams or Texans. Let's go Rams.
Packers are 10.
Wow.
Gabe, it's where they belong. Losing the last 3. Not a good way to finish out the year. 9.
So this is just going to be...
If this were to follow logic, shouldn't this be the Vikings?
This should be the Vikings.
Number 9 is the Texans.
Okay, see, so he flipped it up there. Just the one team. He just flipped it up ever so slightly.
Even though they won, San Diego didn't show up, or LA, or whatever the hell.
What about when the Packers beat them?
That was so long
ago. They were missing a lot of the play. They had like
okay.
14 guys out.
I don't believe that was...
Is that your hang your hat?
I mean, it was their best win of the year.
That's your hang your hat, Josh?
They have. Well,
Good
the
luck
Packers
with that.
have a win over a team that made the last 8.
Yeah, they beat a top 10 team in the NFL.
That's got to be the best win, like
according to your rankings.
Number 8. We're moving on. Exit meetings are closed.
Vikings.
I'm gonna go Rams here. Did he double up?
Joshy is correct.
What?
The Rams are 8. Yes. Gabe, you can't go 14-3, right?
They got boat
They
race
just had
last
a bad
night.
game.
And they lost.
I know.
They also got boat race the week previous.
Yeah, they laid the biggest of eggs in the last 2 weeks.
Look, the NFL is not fair. It's not fair. This should be the NBA model. The Rams should have been at Minnesota, and Minnesota would have done the same to them at home. The Vikings are a better team.
Sam Darnold.
Number 7.
But it was a neutral site game.
And that screwed up the Vikings. They lost juice there. Just ask Tucker Kraft. Number 7. Number 7.
All right, now I'm all over the place. Like, no, it has to be the Vikings. They can't be that bad last 2 weeks and be a top 6 team in the NFL.
Joshy?
I said Commanders.
Vikings are 7. The Vikings building, and I asked Jason, is in a lot better place than the Packers. Because they're looking at is a stepping stone. Yes, they're not there yet.
But they've got a
get
big decision.
Consistent quarterback, they're good.
They got to make a big decision on Sam Darnold.
Darnold's gone. Darnold's gone. Gone.
See, here's the
Gone.
thing also.
Gone.
If the J.J. McCarthy thing fails, they are back to being not very good.
Yeah.
Like, if they decide it's McCarthy time and he doesn't work out, so long on this whatever they got going.
Just torpedoes it all.
Yeah.
Rodgers is going to Minnesota. Same owner, Ziggy Wills.
And that's also going to torpedo Minnesota.
A double torpedo.
You guys think Darnold's coming? You're going to pay Sam Darnold what you paid Baker Mayfield?
Yeah.
No.
If he agrees to it, he might get more.
Yeah. There's going to be a bidding war for Sam Darnold. Prepare yourself.
Really?
Yeah, the reason you ranked him so high is largely him.
Yeah. Without Sam Darnold, the Vikings are not 7. They're not even 14.
They are with Randall Cunningham. Number 6.
Commies.
Do people even know who Randall Cunningham is?
Yes.
I mean, they got Google. They can figure it out.
Okay.
Part of me wants to continue the Josh Allen hate,
so he's going to drop them outside the top 5.
Yeah, but I
6.
But I think it's
you guys are really a-holes when Jen is gone.
What?
You know, this isn't Dude Tuesday.
What? We're just trying to. We're two dudes talking about what you are thinking about. Yeah, we're just talking ball, having a good time, trying to figure out
you
what
also
you're
set
thinking.
yourself up for this. You rank these yourself, so we have to get into your mind.
All
and
right,
sometimes
fair
when you
enough.
poke
6.
around too much, things don't happen that you don't like.
I mean, I would take it over for the mothership ESPN because I'm clearly better than them, but I don't have the time in the day.
Yeah.
6.
Commies
are 6. 5.
Bills.
AO.
Eagles. 5.
What?
Wow.
They didn't look great.
No, they didn't, but I just assumed your Josh Allen hate would take over.
Jalen Hurts didn't look great.
No, he did not.
No.
A.J. Brown's reading a book on the sideline.
But they got the best
here?
defense in the league. You've told me 1,000 times.
They do.
You know what? But you know what the best defense in the league gets you? Chewy?
Second place.
Jamaican tank.
Yeah.
Best
you're
defense
right,
in the league is
you're
like a
right.
Jamaican tank. That's an old.
Yeah.
That's an old one. That's pulling out an old Chewyism.
All right, 4.
Bills. Sorry.
AO.
Ravens.
Weren't they like 2 last week?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, based upon what I saw this weekend, they beat the Steelers, who the Steelers are mad.
Everybody saw this. Everybody watched the Ravens play and went, "Holy bleep, that is just a tank.
No.
How are you going to beat the Ravens?" And Chewy's like,
He was too busy getting damp over the weekend.
See, it's good pop.
Yeah. Good pop. 3.
Know what's left.
So we have the Bills, Lions, and Chiefs left. I guess I'll say the Bills.
Gotta be.
A.O. Brian D. 3, 2.
Lions,
Chiefs. That was a hell of a list.
That was a hell of a list. I think we'll all agree it was a hell of a list.
I didn't hear a lot of pushback. There might have been a one-slot pushback, but nothing more than a one-slot pushback.
The Vikings being 7. Was interesting.
There's some inconsistency there in the middle.
Where do you want them? Where do you want them?
Below the team that just kicked the crap out of them?
Yeah, but they went 10-7. Come on, you got to give some credence to the regular season.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, I'll tell you what, Chewy. If the Eagles play like they did against the Packers, the Rams are going to beat them.
Yeah. It'll be a game.
Rams. If Jalen Hurts does not play better, he had 7 straight incompletions. The Rams will go in there and win.
Really?
And they'll nickel and dime you to death. The thing the Packers were unable to do.
Yes, Matthew Stafford has 0 issues throwing it to Puka Nacua 2 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Whose defense is better, though, the Rams or the Packers? Why does this always happen to the Packers at the end of the year? All right? End of the year, their defense is always playing better, and it did under what's his name?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Joe Barry Carroll.
Am I right? I mean, as much as we didn't like him, they always played better at the end of the year, and it seemed like Halfley's kind of the same way. Would you agree with that?
As much as I don't want to, I think he's right.
Yeah. Yes. We need to have context here, though.
No, we don't.
It's a new offense. They changed scheme. A defense. They changed scheme. Obviously, they got better throughout the later portion of the season.
Go back to San Francisco. Aaron Rodgers didn't play very well.
2021. Defense played great there. Defense played pretty well down the stretch the following year when they missed the playoffs. They didn't
Dallas
lose
last year?
Yeah, they didn't lose to the Lions in Aaron Rodgers' last game because of the defense. They lost because Aaron Rodgers played poorly.
Was the defense great or was their offense bad?
I mean,
what would you say about Dallas?
Don't we have enough Joe Barry to kind of say that was probably more of an aberration than him masterminding the correct game plan? I mean, 3 down linemen. It happened for 2 seasons straight.
Yeah, but maybe he doesn't take the regular season serious. There is that.
Well, he'd have a job if he did.
Well, I'm aware.
Is your business looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been looking forward to the future and helping businesses shape what's next for 165 years, and for the last 15 right here in Milwaukee. So what does that mean? That means they offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making capabilities, and extensive experience to help navigate the complexities of a constantly changing business market environment with your business in mind. They can help you with all the different resources they have, and of course, are very connected to the community as well. Fifth Third, big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, also empowered to make those local decisions and work from a foundation of strong community connections. Commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Things are starting to improve, at least through Kenosha County. Everything is rolling along better since those accidents have been picked up around Highway 50. We do have a new accident, though, on the ramp from Highway F in Waukesha County to 94 eastbound. Delays past that all the way to about Calhoun. And then back on the brakes from the Zoo interchange all the way to 35th Street, where there is another accident off on the right shoulder. On northbound Brewers Boulevard to westbound 94, that ramp right now closed because of a crash. Westbound itself, you're looking at delays from about 16th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, light snow early, then sunny, cold, breezy. A high of 17 with a wind chill of 5 above to 15 below. Tonight, mostly clear, cold with a low of 5 above, wind chills of 0 to 10 below. Weather's brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Join their two-man scramble tournament and play Pebble Beach for a chance to win cash through the 31st. Sign up at Wisconsin Indoor.
Watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text STAY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text STAY to 42424. That's STAY to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Now's the time to shop limited-time doorbuster deals during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Save $50 on a Little Giant King Combo 6-foot ladder. Was $199, now $149. Plus, save $100 on a DeWalt XR 20-volt Power Stack 5-amp-hour battery. Was $199, now $99. Get these can't-miss deals now before they're gone. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Doorbusters valid 113 through 115. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
You are listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm saying if we collectively, all the people in their cars, all the people listening on the YouTube stream, all the people listening this morning, if we all do it together, there's power in prayer, friends.
Yes, there is. Bless me, Father, for I played man.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I fell for the devil's daughter. I jumped in, yeah, I drank the water.
I want to hit a couple of these texts on the Carbless Talking text line, 800-990-3776. Starting with TD, and I did not see this one from yesterday. Did you guys by chance discuss my text from yesterday? Things went south offensively after Saleh was brought on board. That's just not true. Saleh came in the middle of October, or toward the end of October, and the Packers had a stretch when Saleh was a part of this team of, the best 30-point scoring run the Packers have ever seen in franchise history. So the offense went south. If we're looking for a reason why it went south against Minnesota, Chicago, and the Eagles, we have to look for someone to blame other than Saleh, than Robert Saleh. That's just... So sorry, TD. I
know we're searching for answers.
That's again. Go back to the drawing board. We can come up with something else. That's not a big reason why.
I think we've been circling it. It's a lot of the play action stuff, and Jordan Love's play, and Matt LaFleur just play calling. Like those are all three factors. Now you can pie chart them to whatever degree you seem fit, but it seems like the answers are kind of right there in front of us.
And then another text here. Oh, go ahead, Chew.
You think what Kraft said is going to tick some of the players off?
Well, so that's interesting.
Who do you think he was singling out?
Well,
or what group was he singling out?
So Jen from Wausau texted in on the Carblers Talking text line. With what Kraft said about stepping up to be a leader next year, does this imply that Love can't or doesn't know how to lead? Now, I just will, if you didn't see any of the Tucker Kraft stuff yesterday, he also had very positive reviews about Jordan Love. So I don't think any of his, hey, we need a wake-up call, I plan on stepping up as a leader next year, I don't think any of that had to do with Jordan Love. But that being said, like, Jordan Love also seems to be more of a quiet guy, right?
Yes.
Like, he's going to be a more lead by example and isn't going to be as vocal.
Yeah, Kraft's a high-energy guy, He plays to the whistle. But he can't, see, this is where his youth comes in. You can't expect everyone to play like him. You just can't.
Well, when you got the youngest team in the league, why not?
Well, I'm just saying from a standpoint, when I played, the offensive line took pride in peeling guys off of piles, right? And Frankie was kind of the leader there.
Sure.
So... But Earl didn't want to do it. Earl Dotson and certainly Verba didn't want to do anything more than he had to do. So it was really Timberman, Frank, and Marco, and Aaron Taylor.
But
so it was our center
didn't Frank because Frank did that, didn't he get a reputation of being dirty?
He was the dirtiest player in the NFL. But you want the dirtiest player on your team. You don't want him on the other team. Yeah. No, you want that.
All right, can you put that on the poll?
We fed off of it.
Do you want the dirtiest player in the NFL on your team? Because to your point, Drew, you don't want him on the other team because then your guys are the ones taking the dirty shots.
Yes, but you can't expect, in this case, Earl and Verba to be like the other three. They just didn't want to do it. So Tucker Kraft can't go around expecting everyone to be like him. It's just not going to happen. There are different kind of leaders in a locker room, Brett really didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But when he did, you listen, I didn't really say anything. I did my talking on the field. Frank never talked,
Did
Reggie
you ever?
always talked. Reggie always talked.
Well, you don't want to be that guy either because then nobody listens if you always talk.
Well, it was part of a camera thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
did you ever feel the need to talk? Did you ever talk? Did you ever go?
Nah, not really. I mean, I did my talking in the huddle. That just wasn't my deal. But I would talk in the huddle. We would all talk in the huddle. Because we had a pretty veteran group, and you protect your young guys from being intimidated. That's one thing you did. But like I said, there are different leaders, and what Tucker Kraft. His way of potentially leading, is fine, but you can't just project the way you do things upon everyone else.
So
because you're going to turn people off.
And again, it's like Jason said, there probably needed to be another follow-up question there. There needs to be a little bit more context. But when I hear him say things like, yeah, we kind of saw this coming, we need a wake-up, and then when he throws in there, I plan on next year being a little bit more of a leader, to me, that's somebody who maybe saw some things that he didn't like and just wasn't comfortable enough saying something in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like whether that's, somebody not preparing, somebody not being ready enough and going, hey, let's focus into this. And he didn't say this year and realizes, hey, next year maybe if nobody else is going to say something, I have to be a guy to say this to make sure we're ready to go. I guess that's the way, when I think about it, Chew, that's what I think he's saying, but again, it's open to interpretation.
And there's more to it than just being on the field. This could be players, because you'd never know, late to meetings or missing weight room workouts, missing treatments. There's a lot more dropping balls in practice and not heading over to the jugs machine. after to work on that. That's all part of it, and those are things we'll never know, you know. So it could be a myriad of different things.
Ainsley hits us up. Our guy Ainsley hits us up 800-990-3776 on the Carbless Talking text line, saying, "Hey, what about Jacobs? What if he recruits Max Crosby?"
Yeah, sign me up.
I mean,
you send Rashawn Gary, a couple picks.
Raiders aren't gonna,
Max Crosby.
Raiders aren't going to let him go.
He might force his way out. He's been pretty plain about his lack of desire to be in Las Vegas.
In a rebuilding team, and then they just fired his guy.
Yeah.
But then what are you going to have? 2 DNs being paid $25-30 million?
No, that's why you give him Rashawn.
Yeah, here.
Hey, take this Pro Bowler.
Yeah, they're going to go for that. Hey, he made the Pro Bowl. No, don't look at his stats. Don't.
No. Just look at the accolades. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
It's the Davis family. You can trick them.
Hey, one guy made the Pro Bowl, the other one didn't.
Yeah.
I think that, the Raiders would be stealing from us, Chew. Absolutely stealing from us.
Can we stretch his highlight film out to like 12 minutes instead of 3?
Going to be a lot of run, keeping the edge this year, since that was his strong suit, apparently.
Yeah.
Just setting the edge and letting guys run inside him.
Yeah.
Well, he set the edge, then get outside of him. That was his job in that moment. I do want to hand out some grades. And we can do this the rest of the week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. But kind of taking a look back, we're going to give some offensive grades coming up next. But I do want to tell you about our friends at X Golf at American Family Field. I'm going to be out there on Wednesday. I can't wait because I play in a league out there. I love playing out at X Golf at American Family Field because of the state-of-the-art simulators. And really, it's the best experience you can have in a simulator with their putting, their chipping, and obviously the full swings as well. But what makes X Golf at American Family Field different? To me, it's the full bar and menu. Try, if you got a couple people out there, try the pan pizza. If it's just you, try the burger. Great menu. But then the full bar, a lot of the different beers that you're used to having at American Family Field, a lot of those different craft beers, they're available out there, so you can try those out. It's just such a unique space. And if you're thinking about that next corporate event and you're responsible for that, X-Golf at American Family Field is the place to go. Find out more. Book your sim time today. xgolfamfamfield.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
You've probably heard about employee stock ownership plans before, but what separates Fifth Third Bank from others when it comes to these plans? A succession plan that benefits business owners and employees. Full and partial sales, second stage transactions, repurchase obligation financing, and seller note refinancing, ESOPs can offer tax advantages, increased liquidity, employee incentives, and overall diversification of net worth to help your company plan for the future. Fifth Third Bank, National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Whether you are a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit our great city of Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Hey, maybe you got friends coming in from out of town. St. Kate the Arts Hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, and nightly live music, you and your friends will enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com. That's stkatearts.com.
Homer here. I'm inviting you to join me starting August the 9th as we explore the many shades of Ireland with Colette Vacations, a 10-day journey filled with legendary views, historic expeditions, and unforgettable tales. Explore the historic city of Dublin, kiss the famous Blarney Stone, and stand on the spectacular cliffs of Moher. We'll also journey Ireland's breathtaking countryside and follow the stunning coastal route of the Ring of Kerry. We'll experience the daily life of an Irish family with a dairy farm visit and enjoy a taste or two at a historic whiskey distillery. We'll even stay overnight in a medieval castle. Join me for all of the experiences and so many more. All the details are online at ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com. ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com. Don't worry about the planning. Colette handles all of the details of the 10-day excursion. Your job, have the time of your life. Don't miss it. Visit ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com or text Homer to 800-990-3776. The trip of a lifetime awaits.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. Right now, buy 2 windows and get 2 free. There is no limit and no payments for 3 whole years. Restrictions apply. If you already have a price quote, they'll beat it. Schedule your free in-home estimate today.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Ryan and McGuanago weighing in. Hey, if you find something that sucks for 25 years, you hold on to that.
Yeah, that is very good point.
Because usually the sucking only happens before you get married, and then the sucking just stops.
We're going to get fired.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
So put your best face on, everybody pretend you know this song, everybody.
If you're able, please help people affected by the California wildfires in 2025. Donate at redcross.org/ESPN. That's redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond and help people recover. Shoot, I wanted to do grades here, but I don't think we're going to have time. We're going to have to push that back to tomorrow. We've got people on the Carbless Talking text line with somebody's got a specific question for you. Curious to see what that is. But first, we go out to Coach Q, who apparently is Aaron Rodgers' #1 fan. He's got a landing spot for Rodgers. So, Coach Q, floor is yours. You're on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Hey, guys. How you doing, Gabe? Thanks for having me. My original spot would be Peru, I was going to say, like somebody said earlier. However, I really do agree. It's like, send him to Minnesota. The dude will tank your team. He's a pariah. And I am his #1 fan, legit. I mean, when the dude came in November 2007 for Brett, like, it was over with. Like, gave us 14 great years. However, he's a statue, a shell of himself, and he has a noodle arm. And honestly, everything that comes along with the cat, yeah, send him to Minnesota or Detroit. That's my take. Thank you.
Unfortunately, I don't think Detroit's going to be in the market. I think they're pretty happy with what's going on with Jared Goff and the way he's been able to play the last handful of seasons.
I just think Ziggy is that might not happen, but I mean, they're going to kick the tires. He's got to turn into more of a game manager.
Yeah, I mean, there just have to be, in order for Aaron Rodgers to continue his career, there have to be concessions from him that haven't happened.
Yes.
And that's why I think for a guy who's got so many other interests outside of football, I think he's just going to be done.
It would take a humbling of yourself, and do we think that's going to be a thing Aaron Rodgers finds this offseason? The humble bone?
I don't know. Maybe the 10th trip for ayahuasca. Maybe that's what does it.
You'd figure all that self-reflection you're doing, humble would come up. I mean, when you're talking to Mother Aya.
But by doing ayahuasca 9 times, is the 10th one free? Like, does he have a punch card?
He's going to own the place.
How big is his desire to stick it to the Packers, though? Because that's got to be part of it.
It doesn't
because that was part of Brett.
Yeah, that was part of Brett. It doesn't seem like it's that high. Because I think the one thing that he realizes from Brett is because in some of these McAfee interviews, Chew, he's referred to the Packers as we. Like he's still tried to keep that connection, knowing full well, and maybe he's self-aware enough to know that he never had the connection that Brett did, and that Brett could still do all those things and still come back and be celebrated the way that Brett was. Yeah. That he still wants to keep that connection. I don't think he has that, I want to stick it to the Packers thing.
I think he specifically hates probably like Russ Ball and Goody, and maybe probably Mark Murphy.
Yeah.
So you think he retires, Gabe?
I do. I think he looks around, and the one place I could see making sense is the Steelers. Like there are a lot of things that have to fall in place for him to go to San Francisco, but I think the Steelers make the most sense.
I think I've thought for a while he retires. I mean, this season was an embarrassment. Yep. And it was kind of a direct refutation of everything Aaron Rodgers has said and believed of build the team around me, people come here to play with me, we'll make this better. And then his head coach was fired in October.
Quickly, let's get to Steve in Milwaukee on the Carbless Talk and text line. Steve, you've got a question for Chewy.
I do. He was my hero growing up, and to watch someone transform into a really nice radio personality, I think it says a lot about him. I think he's a great guy. Love all you guys, but for Chewy, I really got to ask. Maybe I'm 41 going on 75, but I am so tired of watching these guys catch one pass, signal first down, swipe their hands, do their little premeditated dance. D-backs. D-backs have always been that way, right? But guys making tackles and dancing. Is that just me? I wanted to know if you noticed it and whether or not you feel like potentially, especially having the youngest team in the league, does this have any impact on the team, or is that just me being 41 going on 75 years old?
I think they all have it in them. I think that's the look at me generation begun 6-7 years ago with Twitter and all this. I mean, just you don't have to look any farther than a Keisean. I want to be CB1.
Can we be fair? This has been happening since the 90s.
No.
There was
my
speaking of Keisean's, there was a guy. I mean, he didn't have Twitter, so he wrote a whole damn book called "Just Give Me the Damn Ball."
Who?
Keisean Johnson.
Yeah, but that was in 2000.
That was 95.
No. Yeah, but he's an idiot anyway. I can't stand him.
I mean, Deion Sanders
there are
revolutionized
outliers.
Celebrating.
That's true. Deion had his dance.
When I played, Free went a little crazy with his touchdown dance, and Holmgren told him to tone it down. And you know what Free did? He toned it down. You see that happening today? No, look at me generation.
Of Miami
you guys are part of it. You're part of the look at me generation. You got Twitter? Both of you have Twitter?
Suddenly the music got louder.
Yeah.
We have it for our jobs. We're not
Boom! Roasted!
All right, we'll give you that one, big guy. You can go into the rest of your day feeling good since you can't work out. We'll give you the win. Give him the win. Give him the win. Just give him the win.
Miami, you don't want to dance and keep us out of the
end zone. Give him the win.
Wildy and Tausch coming up next.
Eastbound 94 backing up from the Zoo interchange all the way to 35th Street. An earlier accident at 35th finally cleared out of the way. Westbound 94 slowing right through the stadium interchange. We've got southbound 43 slowing down from just before Capitol Drive down towards North Avenue. Northbound 4394 slow out of the Plainfield curve up towards Oklahoma Avenue. And then eastbound 894 backed up from Forest Home all the way past Loomis. Traffic is brought to you by the Knickerbocker on the Lake. Discover the Knickerbocker on the Lake, Milwaukee's historic hotel since 1929. Experience elegance, modern comfort, and unforgettable stays. Book now at knickerbockerontheLake.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Light snow early, sunny, cold, breezy. A high of 17 with a wind chill